In July of 2016, it was announced that a Chinese company called Perfect World had reached an agreement with Valve for the rights to operate CSGO in China. On April the 11th, almost 8 months after the first news about the deal, a conference will be held in Beijing where announcements about the game will be made, as well as a showcase match between the Chinese teams Tyloo and VGR. In the last few days, the CSGO trading community has been rife with speculation about the effect of the Perfect World update on the prices of skins. This apprehension is because of the changes Valve made to Dota 2 in 2014, where they removed keys from the game, which in turn caused prices of older skins to tumble. For simplicity's sake, I'm going to refer to our version of CSGO as the vanilla version and the Chinese version as the Perfect World version. It's important to state at this point that China does not outlaw case unboxings. This means that Valve did not have to remove keys when introducing Dota 2 to China. According to this article on NeoGAF, China passed regulations in late December in which there are specific parts on games with loot boxes with two particularly interesting sections. 2.6, which says online game publishers shall promptly publicly announce information about the name, property, content, quantity, and draw forge probability of all virtual items and services that could be drawn-forged on the official website or a dedicated draw probability webpage of the game. The information on draw probability shall be true and effective. This basically means that Valve will have to publish the case odds of unboxing or trading up to specific items, along with how they decide the data. The data referring to like float or pattern ID of each item into an official web page. Now, in theory, this could apply to only the Perfect World version of the game, and the odds could be different in the vanilla version of the game, but regardless, it's going to be interesting to see what the results actually are. In section 2.7, it says online game publishers shall publicly announce the random draw results by customers on notable places of official website or in-game, and keep the record for government inquiry. The record must be kept for more than 90 days. When publishing the random draw results, some measures should be taken to protect user privacy. This is even more interesting. I interpreted this to mean that Valve has to create an anonymized version of CSGO Exchange, which would allow the community to see if some insanely high tier skin was unboxed. This is unlikely to affect prices, but it's a cool feature nonetheless. So far, there has been no official statement about in-game items in Perfect World. However, we can assume that the same skins will be included in both the Perfect World version and the vanilla version, as Valve has released updated versions of CSGO skins that include skulls that have been adapted to comply with the Chinese laws on showing skulls-death in popular culture. Examples of these skins are the USB kill confirmed, the M4 Desolate Space, and the Crown Foil. If you want to see these things in game, you can look at Skillet's video. It's a great video on that. As of right now, you can launch the Perfect World version of the game by adding -Perfect World into your launch options. Upon launch of this version of CSGO, it tells you to ensure your account is linked to your Perfect World account using the Perfect World launcher. In this version of the game, when you attempt to open your inventory, it will display it as empty, or it will say that you can't load it from the server. However, it will still show your friends as being online and playing CSGO. From this, we can draw a few things. Firstly, you should be able to play with friends regardless of whether you're playing on the same version of the game or not. Secondly, there is a separate launcher for the Perfect World version of the game that requires you to have a separate Perfect World account. However, this account boots up into a regular CSGO. I'm envisaging this sort of being like Far Cry opening through Steam in the sense that you have to have a Uplay account. And lastly, inventories for the Perfect World version could be linked to your Perfect World account, not just the Steam account. All of this leads me to wonder just how connected the vanilla market and the Perfect World market will be. It's not clear whether Perfect World users will have to purchase skins through a separate client or just through the Steam community market. I feel like a complete separation is unlikely, as this would cut off a significant amount of potential revenue for Valve. Also, if the markets are separate, there would be no way for Perfect World users to purchase and open older cases that no longer drop in CSGO. Now let's talk about what could happen to the skin economy in different scenarios, starting with if there's a completely separate market for the Perfect World version and the vanilla version. In this case, it's likely that a lot of high tiers that have gone up drop suddenly. In the last few months, skins such as Dragon Wars and Howls, along with Katowice stickers, have gone up a lot in price, in part due to the anticipation of the release of Perfect World. If the markets are separate, then this bubble will most likely pop. and prices will drop significantly. However, I think that this would be a smaller drop than it could have been without trade bots. As I've said before, trade bots create a price floor for skins, which in turn strengthens confidence in the skin market, thus preventing a rout in prices even through a potentially negative update. Another scenario is that the two markets are directly connected and Perfect World users can both use the Steam market to buy skins and also to trade with vanilla users. In this case, I expect the base price of popular items to increase across the board for two reasons. Firstly, before Perfect World, anyone in China who wants to play CSGO would have to use a VPN, so if that's no longer required, the player base will increase significantly. Secondly, a lot of hype has been built up in the skin trading community. The mere mention of the name Perfect World has traders thinking of huge price increases. This is obviously incredibly naive and exaggerated, but the validation of this hype could be seen by many as an opportunity to invest, pushing up skin prices. The reality is the vast majority of people who will play the Perfect World version of the game will just buy normal skins like Asimovs and Redlines, which should push those up a few dollars. High tier will also see a pretty big increase, but not to the extent that a lot of people seem to assume. You're not going to see Dragon Lords going to 2,000 plus, you're not going to see Crambit Sapphires going to $3,000 or anything crazy like that. This is an important point. I think that it is the hype built up by traders that could be the primary reason for increases in prices. It's the perception of price futures that will affect the market mostly. This applies mainly to high tiers. For example, if the Perfect World update is generally accepted to be a good one for the market, the owners of high tier items will set higher prices for their unique skins, and if even one sells, this will set a new precedent for the market. If you think I got anything wrong in this video, feel free to comment your opinion below. I'm also going to take this time to mention a few things. Firstly, I'm giving away a butterfly knife tiger tooth on Twitter. Click the link in the description if you want to enter that. Also, on Sunday the 16th of April, I'm going to be doing 10% Dragon Lore trade ups on my Twitch channel, so feel free to follow that as well. The link is in the description. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.